Right, 22 December 2024, and today I'm very excited to be giving you my update for today. And today I'm going to be covering some very important topics, and this is to do with the situation in the biggest city in Zimbabwe, that is Harare. So good morning to everybody, and I would like to thank you for all your support. Today is National Unity Day for Zimbabwe. You know that Zimbabwe went through a very difficult period where eventually there was a national unity government. So Zimbabwe currently has a national unity government between ZAPU and ZANU, with ZANU taking over everything and ZAPU being swallowed. That is unity for you. So the winner takes all approach that has happened in Zimbabwe is what you are seeing right now. National unity has caused us the situation that we have right now, which is in Zimbabwe. And it's very interesting. The people that are left right now at the top, that is Mnangagwa, Chiwenga, and Mamijuru, the most senior people were all vice presidents to Mnangagwa, to Mugabe, not to Mnangagwa, to Mugabe. So those three are the people that are left right now. And you are going to see a change very, very soon. I've been saying to you guys that the next week is going to be critical. You're going to see an important event taking place before the 27th or by the 27th of December. So very interesting. And I hope that we'll be able to talk about this next week. By Friday, we'll be able to say what has happened in our country. So, in fact, it's this week because Friday is just a few days from now. Now, let me talk about the important topic of today. And this topic is really close to my heart. If you go to Harare, you see that cancer has ballooned. There is cancer everywhere. People that you don't expect to have cancer are suffering from cancer. Mostly people who live in the cities. And I'm talking here about chief executive officers, people who work in companies. But the painful part for me is to see people who are very prominent in society getting cancer. And people don't understand why is there so much cancer in Harare. The reason why there's so much cancer in Harare is because of the water that is being taken into the homes of people. So that is drinking water and bathing water, and also what you're eating and drinking in public places. So cancer is all over the place. But what has been revealed today is even more shocking. After the disaster at Lake Chivero, where animals and fish started to die last week, resulting in the closure of Lake Chivero, the Harare City Council has admitted that the water in their dams or in their reservoirs is not safe to drink. It's not clean. It's not purified. It's full of toxins, poisons, bacteria, and it causes cancer. So that is the Harare Mayor, Jacob Mafume, has admitted that 30% of the sewage of Harare, raw sewage, goes into the drinking water source. So what that means is that before water is supposed to go into Lake Chivero, it must be treated. However, it's going in without treatment, which automatically means when you drink your water, you are drinking 30% sewage. In short, so I'm summarizing for you so that you understand. And sewage is that stuff that comes out of your, when you flush, you are drinking 30% of that stuff, which is supposed to be cleaned here. So this is the Harare Borough water treatment works. This thing is not enough to treat the water in Harare. There's no capacity. And when electricity goes, the flow doesn't stop. So it's supposed to be treated. And it's like you're pouring water in a small jug. And it doesn't stop filling up because something else has happened. So this is what is happening in Harare. Sewage keeps coming. and that sewage is not being able to be treated, and it's going into your drinking water. And as I've been saying to you, the dangers are eating. So when you eat at a restaurant in Harare, they cook using that water. When you bath using that water. Imagine if you go into your toilet and you just take that water from the, the toilet and start bathing. What will happen to you? That is what is happening right now in Harare. If you can get water, because most places in Harare don't have water. This is the most important topic in Harare right now. So if you are living in Harare, you must understand what I'm saying. And this also goes to your groundwater. Most of the groundwater or boreholes in Harare are not safe to drink. So the water over there is not safe to drink. Now, what do you do? So let me give you what we're going to be doing. You know that I'm always looking for solutions. And there are 3 ways of sorting out this problem. So let's start with cooking. In your house, do not cook with water from the tap. So you need to filter the water. There is something called an under sink filter, like this. These things are not expensive. Very, very cheap. Less than $100 for these things. So we're going to find out how we can get this thing to you guys who are in Harare. I know that over 45% of our viewers are in Harare. And after Starlink, the people who view us have more than tripled. So if you want to understand what has happened over the past 3 or 4 months, the number of people who view Gambakwe has tripled because of Starlink. So this is an under sink purification system. We're going to start working on this next week. As I said, we're going to be having a men's clinic. And one of the biggest danger for a man from drinking the water that is coming from Chivero is the estrogen or the female hormones that are in that water. So don't take this lightly. It goes to the basis of your health. And then there's also this water filtration system, similar to the one that I just showed you. And obviously, we can also have a water shop. A water shop is something very easy to build. You can filter water in bulk for sale. So why would you do that? You cannot drink the water that is coming out of Harare. So you're drinking water at home. It must not come out of a tap. It must come out of a container that is specifically made for drinking. And I'm going to be showing you guys what to do. This is an ecological disaster, one of the biggest disasters. And they only admitted to it after the fish and animals started to die. Like literally, this is where you are taking your water from. Fish don't die easily. They die when there's something really bad. Animals who drank water in this dam died. So very, very bad situation in Harare. And the most important story right now, what is happening in Harare is very strange. Let me show you the mayors of Harare so that you understand. On your screen here are the first mayors of Harare. Like in the beginning, there is Oliver Chidau over there 1984, Tony Gara over there 1985. And I think Tony Gara has got 2 different pictures here. I don't know what is happening. There's also Oliver Chidau. Yes, so these are the 3 top mayors of Harare. In the history of Harare, these 3 are the top mayors who has ever came to Harare. Those 3 guys, they built from scratch the Kroboro sewage treatment plant. So they took away whatever was there and replaced it. And Harare had a new system of sewage since around 1981 to right around 1985. They had the best new system of water treatment. Then we had the ZANU-PF guys coming in with the commission and all that. And these guys destroyed Harare. So let me show you the mayors that came afterwards. So we had Solomon Tawenga. Solomon Tawenga was a very popular mayor, 1986 to 1999. Then we got all these other guys here. Anna Charles. Then you got Mutsuri. Mutsuri did a lot for the roads, but he never did anything for sewage. Now, Harare water has always been a problem. When I was living in Glenview, water used to come in the morning for like an hour, and then they'll close it. And then water would then come back again later on in the afternoon when people are at work. In the Harare CBD, that is where you used to have a lot of water. But the situation has deteriorated. Harare is now a dump or a sewage pond. But let's look at these mayors. Mchate Masunda, probably the worst mayor. Bernard Manyenyeni, I know this guy. He is not a bad mayor. He was a social media mayor. Herbert Gomba, and then we got Mayor Jacob Mafume. So starting from Ben Manyenyeni, I can say good thing. These guys from Elias Mzuri there, he did the most. Elias Mzuri did the most in terms of roads. Harare was a pride. When you're driving around Harare, it was like on carpet. I don't know if the young guys know this, that there was a mayor that created some of the best roads in Harare. That is Mzuri. But as far as you look at all the guys who came after Mzuri, ZANU-PF then got fed up of the fact that Mzuri was popular, and they chased him out and put a commission. So the person who destroyed water and sanitation and services in Harare is ZANU-PF. Then to make matters worse, ZANU-PF then started building settlements all over Harare without connecting them to sewage. What this means is that there is sewage on the ground. Like wherever you're walking, there is sewage. It's like Kadoma. Kadoma is the worst city in terms of sewage. People just go around the bush and they help themselves. Harare is worse. You've got farms that are right now not connected to a sewage system. So when it rains, all that sewage goes into rivers. I don't know if you guys understand why we got such a problem. And then it goes into Lake Chivero. And then the other stuff that comes from the flushing goes into Lake Chivero. And you have a mess. That is Harare. It's a big mess. Don't drink water from Harare taps. Do not bath in it. It causes cancer. And also, there are guys who are running mining operations and they dump the same thing into Lake Chivero. Then it becomes this ecological disaster. You've got the worst disaster ever. Right now, cholera has started in Harare and also in some other cities. That is the problem. Every time you see water that doesn't flow, water that does not move, that water has got poison in it and you need to avoid it. So this is the situation. And as I said, we're going to bring a solution next week. I'm going to help you guys. These things are very cheap here in South Africa. Extremely cheap, like $100. So we're going to try to get to you next week. I'm going to let you know where you can get these things, which you can connect. So when you're pouring water from you, at least, let's say you want to cook, because your children don't know what I'm talking about here. Your kids are going to go and open the tap and drink it. And at school, they're going to open the tap and drink it. So at least if we can help the schools and the homes so that people don't drink dirty water or sewage water, then that will help. So I'm going to come up with some sort of solution next week so that we address this issue. And as I said, I'm committed to creating a men's clinic. It's important for us to have anti-cancer because, guys, the people that are suffering cancer, if you go to the cancer unit, there are prominent people who are suffering from cancer, especially skin cancer, prostate cancer, and all these other cancers, liver. This water damages the liver. The water from the Harare City Council is dangerous to the liver. Terrible stuff. And you know who is causing this situation. Everything is Trabablas. I cannot believe how Trabablas, the Trabablas nation has become in this Trabablas year. Crazy stuff. Mnangagwa arikubura vanhu nenzara nesewage. So Mnangagwa needs to do something. If I was Mnangagwa right now, what I would do is I would declare a state of emergency over this situation and direct at least 50 million to Harare City Council so that they can build water. Right, I think I've covered most of the stuff to do with sewage here. So now let me go to an exciting topic, the newest and future capital city of Zimbabwe, which is Victoria Falls. Very, very excited about Victoria Falls and the project that we're doing over there. We've got people on the ground. Currently, our corporate office is on leave, so everyone is going on leave. And we're going to be coming back around the 5th of January, which is in about 2 weeks. So in about 2 weeks, our guys will be back and we'll continue with the housing delivery project for homecoming. But I want to show you what else we're going to be doing. Firstly, our Starlink there. Our Starlink is up. So it's not up yet, but it's going to be up soon. And I'm so excited with Starlink. I hope that they get us our unit very, very quickly so that we can give free internet. Our lounge is going to be open and we're going to advise you guys how you can connect 24 hours if possible. If I have my way, we want to do this 24 hours. We want to have somewhere where you can go for 24 hours, where you can do your stuff, connect to the internet, talk to your relatives, and do all the things that you need to do. So that is something that is coming up. We are also obviously going to be working with the local guys so that we provide you with clean food, the herbs, all the things that I've been talking about here. I'm very, very excited. On top of what we're going to be doing in Harare with the men's clinic. So the men's clinic to allow you to look at your health, at your finances, and also at your accommodation. So the 3 most important things for a man, those things, your finances, your accommodation, and your health. Do not leave that in the hands of someone else. And I'm so happy with all the support that you guys have been giving us here, especially with the Move. We've had great support, and also our suppliers has got great support. And what we're going to do next year is we have a place where you can pick up your supply instead of doing DHL. Very soon you're going to have a place in Harare where you can go and pick up and also order. So let's say you want something in South Africa, health related, we'll be able to connect you with a place here in South Africa where you can pick up and order. Amazing stuff. I cannot believe that we are ending the year this way because I never thought we would be able to do this, but with your support, we did it. Now, let me go to the economy. So the CEO of ZIDA, Tafadzwa Chinamo, has spoken out strongly against the policies of Mnangagwa. He says the abrupt implementation of policies, the weak currency, and the inconsistent economic policies are making it difficult for investors to come to Zimbabwe. So I don't know what has happened to Tafadzwa Chinamo, but he suddenly realized that Mnangagwa's policies are trababalous. Trababalous policies leading to a trababalous economy and the trababalous interchange during the trababalous sewage waterworks. Pakaipa guys, things that are happening in Zimbabwe, it's crazy. I cannot believe it. What is happening in Zimbabwe under the trababalous government of Mnangagwa. So Tafadzwa Chinamo, you can go check out this story in the Standard newspaper. Guys, we are at a critical point right now. We are converging. So everyone is converging that the situation in Zimbabwe is not right. And we need to fix our country. We are living the life that we're not supposed to be living. We need to create value in our economy. There is no value in our economy. If you see a guy who is coming to Zimbabwe to invest right now, that guy is a dealer. He's not an investor. There's no investor who's going to come to Zimbabwe in the current environment where they're drinking sewage, where the sick is crashed, where there's no foreign currency, and where the head of the Zimbabwe Development Agency, the investment body, is telling the government to fix and stabilize the economy, and it's not being done. So that is crazy. So I would like to to think that this is a crazy situation that has happened in Zimbabwe. I'm getting a bit distracted. Right, let me look at what has happened to Nick Mangwana's wife. Right. And I'm seeing guys that are talking about Nick Mangana's wife. So if you know this story, you must go check it out. I don't know why she's trending, Nick Mangana's wife. So let me give you a picture. I don't know what she's done, but I'll tell you tonight if it's something important. But she's somehow trending online. Nick Mangana's wife. Nick Mangana, I think his wife stayed in the UK because she cannot drink the Trababalas water. That is amazing, man. It's like, yeah, the Minister of Information and the wife can't drink the Trababalas water. Come home and drink the Trababalas water with everyone. So that is his wife here. So she's for some reason trending. You can go online and check out Nick Mangana's wife. I don't know why the number is there. I don't know why she's trending, but it's something that just popped up now. So go and check it out on. You can go and ask Chofamba. Chofamba is saying people mustn't bother her. But I'm saying this is Trababalas. You cannot not bother her because you must bother a Trababalas. Do you guys see how funny this is? Like the situation in Zimbabwe is is funny but not funny at all. Then obviously we have the situation with. I want to take you to a set case. So the Chronicle newspaper or the Sunday Mail newspaper is featuring the longest serving prisoner in Zimbabwe. So that is in today's news. Mushupe Chiwenge has been in jail since 1999 after he killed his 5-year-old son during a fight with his wife. So he was beating up his wife and she was carrying the baby and the baby died as he beat the wife. So he is the longest serving prisoner at Kami prison, Mushupe Chiwenge. And this year he's going to be writing his O levels. So it has taken him a while. I think it's been more than 25 years to do his O levels. I don't encourage such behavior. People who beat up their wife, stop it right now. I don't like it. So if you beat up your wife for whatever reason, stop it. Your wife is not your kid that you can beat. And Mumve is going to sort it out if she's got behavior problems. So no, that is so prehistoric. So if you see a wife who is well taken care of, she's going to behave yourself. She's not going to do the fun. But also as a man, you must behave yourself. You must make money. You must not hang around in the house all the time. And you must not talk too much. Have you ever seen those guys who come to the house and it's always that is what causes Trababalas behavior like this. Now let's go to Mpoko. The son of Mpoko, Spoko Kela, has said he was not told when his father died. So he only heard through the phone by someone else that his father died. And he says the family has not told him that his father died. And when he heard about it, he also didn't go to the funeral because his father was after him for a long time and was making his life hell. And he had been told not to come to that funeral. So he also didn't go to that funeral because Mpoko was a difficult man. So that is what Kokopela Mpoko is saying. And this is crazy because I can tell you guys, if you don't have a good relationship with your father, you are the worst person on earth. So try to fix a relationship with your father, even if you think your father is very dumb and slow and unable to think rationally. If your father is still alive, that is your chance to talk to him, because when he dies, there's nothing you can do about it. Your father will be gone. And mostly, when you see yourself having a problem with your father, it's not real. It's how you think about it. So try to think about it differently. So I'm not saying that some fathers are not bad. You saw a man who just killed his son that I showed you. There's some really bad fathers. But if you're my age or your age, and your father is a problem, you must know how to deal with him. And you must not have a bad relationship to the point of father dying and you have a bad relationship with him. Because a man, normally, if a man is your father, you are almost like him somehow. And it's going to hurt you when your father dies and you did not have a good relationship with him. Normally, especially for guys who are staying overseas, let's say your father, you send him $50,000 to build your house, and he took all the 50,000 and used it to give to his young wife. That happens a lot. You still have to deal with it. So go home, sit down with your father, and make the relationship right. Most guys talk to me here about their fathers, but you cannot have that situation where he ends up dying without you resolving the situation. And most things you can ignore them. That old people do. You won't die if you ignore them. When you were young, your father also ignored a lot of things that you did. So you must understand that situation. And anyway, it's a good thing. It's good for you to have a good relationship with your family. I want to now look at the newspapers. I'm quite enjoying this this session because I've got less pressure now. In December, I've got less pressure. Most people in the raw areas, and we're sending them the films or the video through WhatsApp. So there's less pressure. Let's look at the Standard newspaper. And the Standard newspaper is leading with the Mnangagwa and Chiwenga fight. So Mnangagwa and Chiwenga are fighting. And let me explain to you why they're fighting. Chiwenga is supposed to be next in line. But a whole bunch of people don't want Chiwenga to be the president. So there is a lot of people around Mnangagwa who are trying to stop him. And Chiwenga, he has got a lot of support from the army. So the army and security guys, they love Chiwenga. I don't know why, but they do. So what has happened is people are now going around the country removing Chiwenga supporters from ZANU-PF. So that is the story that is leading here. And the person to watch right now is Opam Chinguri, one, and also PV Swan, Valeros one. So you can go and look at that. That is the story in the Standard newspaper. Standard newspaper editor. This man is called Chiwenga, not Chiwenge. As long as they called him Chiwenge. So let me show you what I mean. Editor. In Indo, editor newspaper in your foot. From where I am. So they called him Chiwenge for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's minor. But I saw inside the story, they refer to him as Chiwenge. So as you read the newspaper, you will see that is the story that is leading today. So much further in the story, they called him Chiwenge, editor. So that is the fight. And there are people from Masvingo who love Chiwenga, a lot of them. And there are also people from Chiwenga's area that love Chiwenga. So Chiwenga has got a lot of support. And I don't understand what is happening. A lot of people are undercover Chiwenga right now. And people are turning. So there's something behind the scenes that we don't know that is happening. People are turning into Chiwenga supporters slowly. And so you can go and check out that story in the... So there was a demonstration against Mnangagwa this week in Bikita. And it's described here in this newspaper why people demonstrated against Mnangagwa during food distribution. The food distribution had to be stopped as people were demonstrating in support of Chiwenga. So it's crazy, unbelievable that people can demonstrate in support of Chiwenga until food distribution is stopped. And so that is what this newspaper is saying. And since it is Mnangagwa's newspaper, you should be able to know that this is not only true, but they are underplaying what happened over there. I saw in Zimbabwe that they're saying Chiwenga is in India. I know that Mohadi is in India seeking treatment. So what could have happened is maybe the situation with Mohadi was so bad that Chiwenga had to accompany him. That is what I think happened. But Chiwenga has been quiet. As I said, he's gone under cover. My belief is that Chiwenga's presidency is not going to happen the way people think. I believe that Chiwenga's presidency is going to be very short. So if Chiwenga becomes president, it's going to be for a very short period of time. And I'll unpack it in the future. I don't think Chiwenga is going to stay for a long time, but I also believe that Chiwenga has got the support of a lot of people. So he's going to be over there as president very soon. The period between now and the end of this year, very critical. Watch it very, very clearly. Right. Let's see a comment. Gambakwe, I'm just really disappointed. You have a good following, but don't use your channel to mobilize people against Mnangagwa. Soon the dinners will be on and people will suffer. I don't think it's true. I am the one who coined this phrase. Chiwenga Mnangagwa Argorawan Nzara. So why would I not mobilize people when I'm the one man who demonstrated against Mnangagwa? When people were arrested, I traveled to Botswana, I traveled to Zambia. I was last month in the United States of America. All these in efforts to mobilize people. I don't think so, Mkoma Glot. Please reconsider. You know what I'm on top of my game. Now let's go to another newspaper. I want to look at South African newspapers. Just one newspaper is enough. Let's see what they're saying here in South Africa. And I know you guys now are at home, you're on holidays. Mve uri kushanda. Ukaona mve usi kushanda, you must call me next year so that will address the problem. Apana mundu akamwa mve usikarga kushanda. And when I mean kushanda, I mean your engine must run at least once a day by itself for no reason. So you must just be sitting there and your engine just starts going. And you wonder, is this my engine or not? And it's uncontrollable. That is so trapabulous. So it should happen to you. If that doesn't happen to you, if your engine has not been running for a while by itself, with no reason, then you must call me so that we address this situation. So let me look at the newspapers in South Africa. So we've got the Sunday Times newspaper. I'm going to show you the Sunday Times newspaper. They opened it, they published it very soon, like earlier on Christmas week. South Africa is very funny. It's a rural, modern country. So people go to the villages here a lot. Zimbabwe. Ask yourself, is it normal? Town. Is it normal? It is. Right. So this is South African newspaper. Season's greetings. And then Mambara of the year. They've done a big annual thing here. So that is the standard newspaper, the Sunday Times newspaper of South Africa. One of the best newspapers. Fresh unrest in Mozambique. I told you that in the next 7 days, we're going to see something big. But on the 15th of January, there's going to be a massive problem in Mozambique. And Mnangagwa's government will fall within 5 days of the Mozambique government falling. So Julius Malema, loser of the year, over there. Where's Jacob Zuma? They can't not put Jacob Zuma here. So it doesn't make sense. You can't have Julius Malema without Jacob Zuma. It means that this whole thing is fake. The whole thing is fake. And then we've got a beautiful house here. Cape of Good Homes. Guys, this is a beautiful home. What an amazing house. So this is the kind of building I'm talking about. If you look at this house, you can build it within 2 weeks using that special building method that I told you about. This very house that you're looking at, you can build it within 2 weeks using that method. That is using panels. So we'll be doing that in Victoria Falls. Amazing house. And when I go to Victoria Falls, I'm going to look at what they're building there. Look at that. So that is the houses in Cape Town. And they're saying the average price of houses over there, 93 million rands is about $5 million US. So in South Africa, things are very cheap. because the rand is weak, and you can have a stunning house in South Africa. So please go and have a look at the newspaper. This is the Sunday Times newspaper. It's also available in Zimbabwe. Already, if you go on the street, you're going to find this newspaper over there. I think I've covered almost all the stories that I wanted to cover here. Let's see if there's anything else. The Sunday Mail is not published, and I'm going to give you guys the stories tonight if I manage to get energy. So what has happened is, because I've been traveling so much, when I travel, I get a bit exhausted. So I think the guys who were in the flight with me on Friday, I had so many Zimbabwean guys in my flight. Can you guys believe it? We went to Cape Town, and I was late. So I was late for my flight. I was sitting with some guys. We were meeting at Cape Town International Airport. And the plane is big. So I think I was the last 5 guys who came in. They waited for us. So as I went in, one guy just shouted, "Hello, Zimbabwe!" And then everyone was starting to look, and all the Zimbabwean guys were there, were greeting us, and it was amazing. So the point I'm trying to make is, so many Zimbabwean guys moving around, getting a lot of engagement. The Ubers, we were in a lot of Uber Black this week. So this week I only use Uber Black. There is no single Uber Black I used that was not Zimbabwean. So all the guys, they were amazed to see us, and very, very happy to travel with me. So I think I used like 10 Uber Blacks this week, and it was all Zimbabwean guys. Amazing stuff. All the guys that I met over there in Cape Town. So we're doing well, but it's clear that we're not where we're supposed to be, and people are looking for leadership. And if only Mnangagwa could one day give me a call, umboti Zimbabwe svika panapa toita sei kuti tigadzire nyika, kana kuti mudhara Chiwenga mumbondifonera moti Zimbabwe toita sei kuti tigadzire nyika. We will tell you guys what to do. Zvemuri kuita izvi hazvisiri izvo. It's sad what's happening. All the Zimbabweans that I met, they want to go home. There's no single Zimbabwean who doesn't want to go home. Like, everyone is literally waiting. And they say, "Zimbabwe, when are we going to go home?" And I said to them, in 5 days, muchaona zvichaitika. 27 December, one of the biggest days in the history of Zimbabwe. So let's look at the comments and see kuti pane chi. Mukoma matsikasenzwa vanhu vemukwekwe munonyarara kusvika rini muchibirwa necancer. Where on earth munangabata $90 a month just for water in high density area like Mbizo? Yeah, it's shocking. My water bill in Kariba is $200 a month. Can you believe it, guys? That's crazy. Mnangagwa must not declare a state of emergency, but step down. Mnangagwa will never stop down. Azigoni. Don't believe it. Is there any information about where Mr. Matapo or Mr. Tinashe Jonasi, or ask Jonas about him? Let's ask Jonas. To move to Jonas kuti Matapo ari kupi? Because in mafungira ndoita is Matapo was killed during that time when he went to Zimbabwe to try and do something. So let's ask Jonasi kuti, where is Matapo? Maybe Jonas can tell us. Mdara norara uyu. Musiye o anorara so. Hapana musiye o wakadai. Musiye o anorara kusvika na 540. Kana uri musiye o, by now you should be up. Uchifamba, uchiisa Vaseline pazuda rako. That is what you should be doing right now. Mama Matsika said, "Zimbabwe don't need corruption." Yes, I'll deal with that. But Mudara Mkwekwe ndakataura naye. Mayor Mkwekwe, I talked to him a few months ago, and we resolved some issues. So I'll talk to you guys about it. It looks like Mve is for those with 1 liter engines. What about ladies with different ailments like BP, diabetes, etc.? Mama Outlet, let me explain to you about Mve. Mve is a very powerful herb. It treats STIs, it removes toxins like poison from your body, and also it turns a 1 liter engine into a 3 liter engine. one kickstart and you don't have to crank it. What do we talk about one kickstart? Most guys, let's say they with their wife, they can spend a whole day on the phone tweeting, and they don't see anything wrong with sleeping next to wife, with your tweeting next to her. That is because they've given up on the engine, right? So, in my view on this situation is, firstly, most guys need to understand, Kuti, how do you become effective? And that is where Mumve comes in, and that is where the men's health clinic is going to come in. If you're under 70, madam wako anofanira kuziva kuti kana uri bedroom vanotambira kure havasviki ikoko, because munhu anodonhedzwa. So I do not know, for women mostly use it for your skin, use it for toxins, anti-cancer, and also I've recommended it to many of the ladies for wounds. So what we're going to do next week, we are receiving a stock of anti-cancer spray from the supplier, and I'll let you guys know about anti-cancer spray, because many women are suffering from cancers, so they also need the Move. Right, Matapo is in Nayambara, Kitungwiza. Mkomatendai, call me and let's talk about this. Is he fine? Because the last time I talked to Mr. Matapo, he was going to Zimbabwe, and he had gone in there to mobilize the underground structures of the Zimbabwe People Power Movement. He entered through Mutare, and he shared with me a picture. He was entering Mutare, and that was the last time I saw him. I've never seen him again after that. So Tinashi Jonas is going to come here later on today. He's going to be presenting his view of the situation of what's going to happen, and I'm going to let him answer. I'm going to call Jonas. There's no day which passes when Jonas doesn't call me. So Nezuro, as I was walking somewhere, CIO came to me and said, Gambakwe, I am in the CIO, and we had some discussions over there. CIO guys are fine. They're not a problem. The problem is my ferrets. I know my ferrets. My ferrets, one, my serum CIO. One, no Chandra, one, Katasana Scott. Do you see? One, try to around. Don't know my ferrets. Apanam CIO and Rayamun, CIO Mupurisa. And a CIO person is a person who understands the law. Most of them are reluctant to do the politics. But my ferrets, ukapa ferret $500. Ferret batira moon for no reason. That is the problem in Zimbabwe, the ferrets. But what I believe is that we are getting to an end of all this, and you see guys like me back in Zimbabwe very, very soon. Tichita zvinhu could develop our country, because vana Mnangagwa vatadza. Where can I get Mve? WhatsApp me, Mkoma. Mve, I'm going to stop advertising Mve. If you don't use Mve, it's own fault. If your engine stays 1 liter, it's own fault. And if it's not one kickstart, it's own fault. So from 1 January, I won't be advertising Mve anymore. I'm leaving it to those who know what I'm talking about. Right, we've gone for 43 minutes. I normally want to go for 45 minutes. I'm talking longer than Makandiwa. So today is a Sunday. Please go and watch Makandiwa's sermon. He's one of my favorite preachers. When Makandiwa was a student pastor, he was under Uimatsiri at Blawayo Central AFM. And I happened to be at that church in 2003. Me and Makandiwa were at the same church. Actually, my trousers, zvinosvika zvakadai so zvinagagepi pakati peshoe because hani munhu akareba ukamutekera sutu. That is what was happening to Makandiwa, one of my favorite preachers in Zimbabwe. Very inspiring. But that man has came a long way from the days when he was a student pastor, Emmanuel Makandiwa. It was always using that name. I don't know about the other name that people say he was using. So I think I've covered everything. What a troublous session. What a troublous situation. Nelson Chamisa has ended this year very, very well. I remember last year we were looking for him. This year, Chamisa is on top of his game. So every day he's tweeting on his channel, is there, and he's building a team around himself. We've got a new president in Botswana, Duma Boko, and then in Mozambique, we've got my favorite politician, Venanzio Moilane, Sekuru Vena, showing flames to Frelimo and their rigging, and our sponsor, Baltasa, Bang, and Gonga. This man, Akapezama Sports, Nemumve, and the ambassador of Equatorial Guinea has gone back home. I hope to announce Equatorial Guinea, and obviously Zimbabwe entering SADC, the first Zimbabwean man to enter SADC this year. That was an amazing year. You guys saw Kuti. We moved away from social media and it became a reality. And the next year we're going to do even more. We're going to do a lot. We're going to start working, especially on the men's health, anti-cancer for the guys, and also Victoria Falls homes. So it's going to be a big, big year for us. And I'm praying that everything that we plan comes to pass and we do very, very well. My biggest pain is accommodation. I hate it when people don't have good places to live in. And this is all because of the poor planning. We need a Mnangagwa. We need to challenge Mnangagwa. And I know Mnangagwa, he understands me very well. There's no person in Zimbabwe who understands me more than Mnangagwa and what we're trying to do. Chinyika ichi, mukachisira vanhu vakapusa, chinotorwa. Zimbabwe will be taken. You need to leave Zimbabwe to young people who are capable, and then it will be a great country. Don't leave such a rich country to weak people. You were lying about Chamisa the whole year. What did I lie, Mkono? That Chamisa is missing. Yes, Chamisa was missing. And I don't talk nonsense. I mean, when I tell you that Chamisa akaramizwa in Kenya, ndokona kutukudza vanhu vakumwe Kenya vakanudza. And remember, I was in Kenya myself. So I don't talk nonsense. And then Mkoma John says, Zimbabwe is the true big force is empty, no force as always. I asked my guys to go and take a film last week. You can go and check out over there. Right, guys, I think I've covered everything. It's been amazing. I'll see you tonight if there's anything very, very big in all the other newspapers we haven't covered. And please enjoy your holidays. Musanyadzisa nema salad. Drink your muve 2 times a day. And make sure that munovatira some ginger and some honey. Sports. And I'll help you guys in January. We'll have a proper place where we can meet in Harare and do everything. Thank you very much for watching.